mainly because we have the Six of Wands here, and the Six of Wands also indicate, general success, getting the accolades that you deserve, getting the recognition, and also getting that new lease on life almost. So I feel that life is going to be okay for you. So this external energy that is affecting you is it's something that is outside of yourself, that is going to affect somebody else, and that person might be very near and dear to you. So as a result, you're kind of like caught up in it, okay? And what you decide to do is up to you, but I do feel that in general, there is a sense of letting go. There is a sense of like, this is a seizing the end of battle, the end of conflict, and the end of arguments, okay? So in the past, if this is a situation that has been ongoing with another person, and I am sensing here greatly, it could be related to a water sign, like a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or a fire sign, like an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And in general, this could be on the work front. If it's with a Leo, I do feel that it is going to be on the, if it's with a Leo or if it's with a fire sign, I do feel it is going to be more on the work front. If it's with the water sign, it could be more on the emotional front, okay? So it could be like a family situation, and I do feel that it could potentially be somebody that you are um, in a close interpersonal relationship with, somebody that you're very emotionally invested in. And it could also be somebody that you're living with. For a lot of you, it could be somebody that you are in any type of a relationship in which you're living together. It could be family or roommates and as well. So just keep in mind that once again, this is something that is outside of yourself. So it's outside of your control, okay? And it is going to be a little bit destabilizing, like I mentioned. However, this is also a card of, freedom from bondage. This is like letting go. I do sense at the same time with the moon in the reverse position, a lot of clarity, a lot of insights, a lot of truths will surface for this month about the people that you're interacting with, okay? You're going to start to see people's true colors. So I do feel that in the past, you might have, I wouldn't say you were naive, okay? Because I do feel that deep down, you know what people are about, and you are pretty much, live and let live. So even though some people around you that you interact with and you are emotionally invested in, even if they exhibit qualities that are not entirely admirable, you still give them the time of day, mainly because you want them to change on their own accord, and you feel that everyone should be given a chance, and you shouldn't ostracize, or you shouldn't like you shouldn't like segregate yourself from other people, because we're all living the human experience, and it is always the right thing to do, to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. However, a lot of that is going to end for this month, mainly because I do feel like there are some obstacles that are coming into the picture to reveal to you other people's true colors and their true intentions, okay, and even their ulterior motives. And as a result of that, it's sort of like coming in from the left field, and it's so blatant that you have no choice but to embrace the fact that, okay, maybe they're not the best people in the world, and maybe you should just, um, maybe people just don't change. So you, at this point, you're feeling that, okay, I've done my cause for humanity. I've done, I've done the right thing by incorporating them into my life, or I've given them the benefit of the doubt. I've given people multiple chances. But if this is a type of behavior that they themselves don't feel it's a problem, then you're not going to be a part of it, because in the process of, giving them opportunities, giving them second chances and things like that, or not calling them out on their behavior, you're feeling as if you're kind of losing out, mainly because you are emotionally invested, and it is in a way affecting you at this point, okay? So it's sort of like somewhat of an enabling behavior that allows the other person to not see the errors in their way. And at this point, this month, things might be a little bit jarring, mainly because we have the Tower. And the Tower speaks about, you know, a drastic change in your perspective, in your paradigm, in your framework, in the way that you look at the world, okay? And it is people oriented because all the cards surrounding it is mainly about conflict, is mainly about emotional turmoil, it's about mental anguish as well, all in the reverse position, okay? So at this point, this situation I already mentioned, it is out of your control. um, the other party is contributing to their own detriment, okay? And you're sort of like looking at this in kind of like slow motion. I mentioned this for a Scorpio video before. It's sort of like you know that their behavior is not acceptable, but in the past you never spoke out about it, okay? And there's nothing that, you know, people have their own free will. And even if you had spoken out in the past, I doubt that it would change much, okay? Because it does take a Tower situation for people to really re-examine their lives and to re-examine how their actions affect others, okay? So this is a situation where somebody else's action, somebody else's word, somebody else's lifestyle, it's affecting them negatively, and as a result, you are emotionally invested in them. So in the process, you're kind of like caught up in it. However, the cards surrounding them are in the reverse position. The cards surrounding this situation are in the reverse position. So it's not going to have that much bearing on you. So don't let it, okay? I feel that this news is coming in from somebody that you've had multiple run-ins with. It could potentially be like a Pisces, if you're dealing with a Pisces in particular, or another water sign, or in an interpersonal type of relationship, like friendship, even, you know, exes, people that you're living with, people that you are in close proximity with, okay? And I am saying that this is somebody from your past, mainly because in the past, interactions between you and that other person was not pleasant. Okay, and you're overcoming it because it's showing up in the reverse position here. And you're not letting it affect you on an emotional level. So this situation is coming up once again for you to just remind yourself why they are out of your life to begin with and why you really have to let it go. Okay, so I know you want to be helpful and you want to, you know, be the source of comfort and strength for another person, but I do feel that if you keep doing that, you are going to get caught up in other people's life lessons, and that's never a good thing, okay? So in general, just let it go. You are bound to very negative energy here, and you are bound to people, especially people that you've had a long history with. And sometimes, you know, when you are too like emotionally invested, when we are too like when we've known somebody for a really long time, or when we've like grown up with that person, when we've known them for a long period of time, it's difficult to be objective, okay? So what this is coming in once again is for this month, your sense of objectivity is going to be completely heightened, okay? And you're going to have to cut some people out of your life, okay? Mainly because I do feel that you have very good cards here, but things from the past are what's troubling you on the emotional front, okay? So emotionally, just scrap everything from your past and try to protect yourself. Try to not let other people's actions affect you. You can come to somebody's rescue so, you know, only so many times. So, you know, this is something that they're going to have to learn on their own, and they're going to have to deal with on their own, okay? So don't take on other people's burden, and if people don't see things, you know, eye to eye with you, you don't really have to defend yourself, okay? You don't have to do it any longer, mainly because this person is unable to see the truth, okay? So I'm feeling here that it is related to a water sign, okay? So if you are in a relationship where, you know, you are in contact with a water sign, and also like a fire sign too, because I'm sensing like water and fire with these cards, just be very careful about manipulation, especially, okay? Somebody might guilt trip you into trying to help them into, you know, oh, I've changed my life around. I just need you to help me with this one thing. And it's like, no, don't do it. If it's at your expense, if it's at your financial resources, I do feel that you might be duped. And at the same time, I'm sensing here that you know, once again, there have been multiple run-ins with this person and nothing good came out of it. So don't let yourself be willingly duped, okay? I feel at this point, enough clarity, enough insights have been reached where you can decide to just once and for all scrap that situation, scrap that person from your life. Okay, so just be very careful this month. We do have good cards in general though, so you know, like I said, this is something outside of yourself. This is somebody else's problem that you're going to have to deal with, and at the heart of it, you are actually getting a lot of good reception. So what I am sensing here is to coming in very early at the beginning of the month, there's a little bit of a financial drawback, okay? So we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is something that might have happened even like, you know, it could even be residual energy from as late as like the last week of June. I am doing this midnight on um, the last day of June. So this is residual energy. So there's a little bit of a delay in financial payout. For those of you who are waiting for a settlement, who are waiting for some type of a financial payout, okay? There is going to be delay, but I do feel ultimately you are going to get this financial resource, this financial windfall that is promised to you. So don't worry about it, because ultimately, coming in later in this month, we have the Six of Wands, which indicates in general that you are going to get positive reception, accolades, the congratulations that you for a job well done. And in general, you are going to be propped up as the victor here, okay? So the financial payout itself, once again, it is going to be delayed, but all the other cards surrounding it indicates to me that you don't need to worry, okay? So the end of worries is greatly indicated. So you're not going to be troubled by it that much longer. So give it like the first week, and this financial situation will pick up, okay? So don't worry about that too much. At the same time, what I am sensing here is there's a little bit of a cosmic lesson coming through. And the lesson here is about, let me see, it's about taking action. I do feel it is about taking action, because I know that, you know, as an earth sign, traditionally, this is basically having patience. You are very, very patient in this regard, okay? And you are an earth sign. So I do feel that coupled with the Magician, these are two major arcana cards, and you know, one is on top of the other like this. So what I am getting here is that it's about taking action, okay? It's about like taking up on opportunities, or you know, taking up opportunities that come, and not being afraid, and you know, don't second guess yourself, don't doubt yourself, don't doubt your ability to do something, mainly because the financial resources aren't there, or you might be a little concerned about your financial resources, so you don't undertake, you know, new projects, new opportunities, like even travel opportunities that might come in for you, okay? So there's a little bit of fear and hesitancy, and a little bit of an energy of clinging on to past situations for financial security. But I would say that you are actually going to have a very good month, mainly on the work front and on the finance front. So don't get into that headspace where you're just thinking like, I don't know if I'm qualified for this new job. I don't know if I'm on the right track with this new career. I don't know if, you know, the people around me, especially work colleagues and supervisors and things like that, are receptive, or, you know, are open, are supportive of the way that I conduct business or the way that I do things. And once again, they hired you on, or that, you know, they are in alliance with you because they understand your capabilities. So don't get into that negative headspace where you're doubting your actions, you're doubting your capabilities, because more than anything, it is mental energy. And in the real world, it does show that you are going to have a lot of success here. So don't get into that morbid mode of thinking, okay? That pessimism and, just losing your sense of perspective, okay? And once again, like I mentioned, on the work front, a lot of you might be in contact with like a fire sign, okay? It could also be like I mentioned, water and fire elements here, but I do feel that more of you might be dealing with a fire sign on the work front, in which the fire sign might be a little bit restrictive as to how much leeway you can have with creative projects, with your work environment. They might be a supervisor that micromanage, for example, or they might be someone that puts a damper on new ideas that you might have, and ways in which you can implement these ideas in the world, okay? So if that is a situation that you're dealing with, just be very patient, because there's a little bit almost of a jealousy coming through here from the other party, and they're preventing you from moving forward. I'm sensing here that it's not that they want you to fail, or it's not that they are completely they're it's not that they're wishing you ill will. I do feel that they tried it in the past, and they were a little bit too hot-headed with the project, so it became a failure, okay? So they're really hesitant about letting you try things your way, mainly because they're trying to prevent you from ending up with the same failure that they did in the past, okay? And that's not to say that there's anything bad about this fire sign. I don't feel that way. But whatever you decided to do, just go ahead with it. Try to convince them that you are doing it in a different way. And I do feel ultimately your success with this new work endeavor is going to allow the other person, to heal. At the same time, there is a little bit of jealousy, okay? So if this situation works out for you, and it brings about like, success, there is going to be like the aftermath, which is you're dealing with somebody else's jealousy, and that's going to affect you on in the work front, okay? However, once again, I mentioned for this month, I do feel in general that Capricorns, you guys have a very good read on people. So, and you don't really you don't really gossip about things. You don't really call people out on when they're doing something wrong. I mean, you know, you always give people the benefit of the doubt, okay? But for this month, just really try to protect yourself and try to be around more positive people. Be around people who give you positive vibes, who boost you up, who help you, restore your self-esteem, who mean well, who just have a good heart. So just try to be around more positive people, so that you're not affected by, negative energy surging through, and people who might be a little bit envious of your success, who might be like a little bit emotionally needy and emotionally manipulative, okay? So just keep that in mind. And as for the financial situation, it is going to turn around for you very, very quickly the first week of the month. So don't worry too much about it, okay? And we have also the Ten of Cups here, okay? And the Ten of Cups underneath this situation, and it's sort of like looking at the big picture, okay? It's sort of like financially, you might not have everything that you want. You might not be making enough, money to the extent that you want. However, you can, you actually really enjoy the simple things in life. You can get by with a lot less than other signs of the zodiac, I feel, in general. And the things that really matter to you, and the things that bring you emotional happiness and just emotional fulfillment, are the intangible things. So this is, once again, surround yourself with positive people, people who boost you up rather than, the ones that tear you down. And you're going to come to this realization this month that, honestly, life is too short to give people multiple chances. Life is too short to just, um, go out and mingle with people who don't really like know what they want, who don't really have like a clear sense of direction of their life, because you're kind of like getting caught, you're going to get caught up in their drama. Okay, so you're going to quickly realize this month, and I would say, try to, once again, if you are in situations in which other people are asking you constantly for help, and it's still within your power, you still have the resources to help them, you still have the time to help them, but I do feel that in the process of interacting with these people and always coming to their rescue, you're enabling their insufficiencies. So like you're enabling that type of behavior, like that dependency, codependency type of behavior from other people. A lot of you are dealing with water signs who have boundary issues. So if this is a situation, and I keep mentioning this, that you don't really have boundary issues, it's the people that you're interacting with. So don't let people kind of invade your space, okay? So maintain this little bubble, maintain, this sense of serenity by surrounding yourself with people who mean well, who care about you, and who don't abuse you or take advantage of your goodwill, okay? So that's just good advice for everybody in general, but I do feel that for you, you're very like open-hearted, and you're very like accepting. You're very accepting. Like Pisces are very accepting as well. And you and Pisces are just like two of the most accepting signs. And I feel like maybe because, you're towards the end of the zodiac, but I do feel here that it's going to be a little bit detrimental if you keep enabling the other person, okay? So yeah, it's time to release some old chains, to cut down some old relationships that are not entirely positive, and it would be good for you. And I do feel that it's going to be a difficult process, okay? Because I do feel that some of you are very emotionally invested in situations, and you're hoping for a turnaround in the other person's life, or the other person's perspective. But I do feel that they're only going to change their ways of doing when they have to, okay? When people hit rock bottom, that's when they will kind of like reassess the things that they've done, and how their actions lead to certain consequences. So in this situation, unfortunately, people learn the hard way, okay? And once again, I am a staunch believer that it does take like massive karmic lessons for people to change. And even then, depending on how evolved they are, they can change very little or a lot. And you honestly, you don't want to be caught up in other people's life lessons. So just try to extract yourself from people who have like unhealthy boundary issues, okay? If you are around somebody and you feel that they're draining you, there are just some people that they have a lot of drama, they have a lot of like destabilizing energies in their life, and you have to separate whether or not it's just something that they're tied in with, or whether it's their life choices that are creating all these dramas and all these upheavals in their life. Most of the time, people make wrong choices in life, and as a result, they get into like a very stuck situation, and they don't know where to turn, so they rely on somebody to pull them out of it, rather than making the right choices to begin with, okay? Or rather than turning their life around on their own. And when, it's not to shame anybody, because when you're in a very stuck place, it's difficult, it's emotionally destabilizing, and you're kind of like in panic mode, you don't really know where to turn. However, don't get stuck in other people's life lessons. Don't get caught up in it. Okay? Let them try to find their way out. And I do feel that, a little bit more of a hands-off approach in your intimate relationships, in your social interactions, is in order here. Okay? So take a very hands-off approach so that you don't get caught up in other people's life lessons. Okay?